I've got good news for you. If you are picking up a lot of background audio noise on your microphone and you wish to find a way to deal with that without, you know, putting sound tiling up or something annoying like that. Gosh, get this to stick to the wall. Well, I'm going to demonstrate in this video how to set those up, and this video is going to focus on a good plugin, a really strong plugin, and it's actually on this website, but it's worth noting that if you go to Reaper.fm, which is, if you go to this website, Reaper.fm, and you don't type the / part, it's going to be one that's like a 2-month trial, and then after the 60-day trial, it costs $60 for a personal license. But if you navigate to the correct web address, which is linked right below this video, they have a version of their plugin that they say is limited, that has fewer features, but I can't see anything missing from it. The name of the plugin, or the website specifically, is Reaper.fm / ReaPlugs, REA plugs, REA plugs, and you do that after the / and you'll get the following page. From here, you would simply scroll down and download the 32-bit or 64-bit version of this plugin, depending on what version of OBS you are presently running, and that I'll go over in a moment if you stay tuned. But before I do that, I want to quickly go over the alternatives that are built into OBS. So in OBS, if you click on the cogwheel icon, you click on filters for your input. In my case, it's labeled microphone. In your case, it might be auxiliary, but whatever your microphone is hooked up to, click on that cogwheel icon, navigate to filters. You'll get the following dialog box or window. From here, if we zoom into the top half of the window, you'll see that we have noise gate and noise suppression up top. So if I turn on noise gate, it will, as you can see here, make the VU meter stop moving when I don't talk. When I turn the filter off, watch what happens. Now it's picking up background noise. You may not hear it unless you're wearing headphones, but it's definitely picking up, and I can demonstrate by turning it off and on. So it's off right now. On. Now, it does a good job of eliminating background noise when you're not talking, but if I talk really low, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or if I put on a YouTube video, okay, it's a little loud, so we're going to lower it by 2 notches now. You don't hear the YouTube video, but if I speak low, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you might hear the background noise, but it goes away when I stop speaking. But bottom line is, if I speak just loud enough while speaking low, you'll hear background noise fading in and out, which could arguably be more distracting than having no filter at all. Sound check, 1, 2, testing, 1, 2. And even if you don't hear background noise from my phone, you'll definitely hear background noise from my, whatchamacallit, my PC. Now we're going to enable the, don't want to enable two. You only want to use one at a time. Next one is called noise suppression. So we're going to enable noise suppression. It works, but it may alter the way your voice sounds. It only has 2 settings, low quality and high quality. High quality uses up more CPU usage, or more CPU power, whatever you want to call it. But it's inconsequential on most computers from what I can identify in my testing. But I want something more refined, a little stronger, something that gives me more control. So the third one is called VST 2.x. Now this one does not come with OBS, whereas noise gate and noise suppression, if you open up the filter panel, you go to the plus sign on the bottom left corner, and both noise gate and noise suppression are included for free. No extra cost, they're bundled, no downloading, nothing, etc. But to get this option, VST 2.x, you'll need to go to that website I mentioned earlier, reafer.fm/ReaPlugs, REA-plugs, and we're going to demonstrate that in the next phase of this video. And it's a great plugin. It looks really cool. It's presently off. We're going to turn it on when I... Oh, shoot! Okay, wait. Okay, there we go. I accidentally clicked on the little red dot over here and made it higher. I don't think it was really consequential, but I got worried. I didn't want to redo the setup on this. But as you'll see in a moment, the setup is really easy, so it would not have been the end of the world if I had to reset it up. But bottom line is, what it's doing is, this red line is blocking or filtering out noises. And as you can see, when I don't speak, all of the background noise is happening beneath that red line. So it's filtering out most of the background noise. I tweaked it to allow a little bit of background noise to pass through, mainly the bass frequencies, because I didn't want this filter eliminating the bass frequency, because of course you're more manly if you have a deeper voice. So of course I couldn't let this application attack my masculinity here. But jokes aside, I just liked being able to tweak it accordingly, and it worked out really well. But you could allow it to more aggressively remove background noise. Another example is on the right side of the bar. You'll notice that I'm not blocking any of the high frequency noise, because one, it's not really causing a problem, and I didn't really want to, disrupt my sound profile. So I'm happy with the current settings by making it intentionally less aggressive on the filtering, but maybe you'll want it to be more aggressive. Maybe you have a loud air conditioner. So without further ado, follow along if you want to have a cool noise filter. And remember, the same website offers a more fully featured version of this plugin that cost $60 with a 2-month trial. But this particular program called Reafer, which has a weird name, or ReaPlugs, ReaPlugs, well, it's free, and it's not missing any features that I care about. So yeah, go for it, check it out. Without further ado, let's proceed. Yeah, so I clicked on this plus sign over here, and noise gate and noise suppression are listed here respectively. They come with OBS, they're free. The third one I downloaded. It was really easy. I went to this website, I downloaded it, installed it, and then when I reopened OBS, it came up as VST 2.x plugin. I added it to the list. I currently have it enabled, and the rest of this video will show you how to set it up. It's fantastic. But you may want to watch the video linked in the bottom of this video. Right under the video I have a link to another video that shows you how to do the basic setup on noise gate and noise suppression. And the reason for that is because I just realized today that the free download, or what I considered a free download for Reaper, is actually a 60-day trial. And I guess after 60 days it stops working unless you buy it. The cost is $60 for a personal license, I guess it's personal, and commercial license for $225, probably because, commercial users, if they are using it and it doesn't work, they'll call tech support and they'll say, I need this to work because I'm running a business. And so of course anybody who has to render tech support to somebody who's going to be, whining about their business, you bet your butt they're going to charge extra. But bottom line is, yeah, so if you're willing to spend $60 in, after the trial period, then yeah, try this out. It's pretty cool. I mean, like, you can see it in action right now. I have this little red line. whenever I stop speaking, you can see how the yellow lines go beneath the red line. And that's because during the subsequent setup steps that you will see in this video, there's a calibration step where this red line is generated. And basically I manually tweaked it so that I can let a little bit of background noise in, because I wanted to have like a more realistic sound profile. Great plugin, but maybe it's not worth 60 bucks. Or it's not worth 60 bucks to you. To me, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to see how much mileage I get out of it, or see how much I can reduce my background noise by doing other things to my room. But you know something, if I stick a microphone in my my server room, or where I keep my really loud rack mounted server, this actually might be really well worth it. But you know, I'm going to play around with it during the you know, trial period. I'm going to bring my microphone downstairs, or I'm going to, you know, hook up a microphone downstairs and see what happens. But bottom line, without further ado, follow along if you want to see how to set this guy up. If not, look for the link right below this video and check out how to set up the free audio plugins. Thank you for your time. And here it is, zooming in. I've already installed the 64-bit OBS, and so at the time I installed the 64-bit version. Since I do have two versions of OBS installed on my computer, I did also install the 32-bit version because they can coexist just fine and dandy on the same system. And once I, you know, basically I clicked on the download, it saves it to my computer. I opened the executable. Your screen might go blank. On my case, I get a yes or no prompt. I clicked yes, and now I can just click I agree and install the plugin. I would recommend closing OBS before installing this. Once you've downloaded and installed the plugin from that website, the Reaper website, you can go to your microphone audio source, look for the gear icon once more, click on filters from that menu, and you will have your filter panel right here. The new plugin won't be listed yet. You'll have to click the plus sign, and at the bottom of that menu, your newly installed VST 2.x plugin will be listed. So you click on that. It'll ask you, do you want to name it? I say sure, whatever, and in my case I've already added it, so I'm going to delete it. So there it is. Once you've added the VST 2.x plugin, it'll be listed under your audio filters, and at this point, if you have any other filters, I would disable them just so that you have a baseline. And since chances are we only want to use this audio filter if this is the first time we're using filters, so we're gonna we can turn it on. Once we turn it on, we gotta go to this pull down menu, and next to where it says VST 2.x plugin, through the pull down menu, navigate to where it says Reaper standalone, Reaper standalone underscore, Reaper underscore standalone. Then you click open plugin interface. Now what? Well, everything we're looking at here is basically fine. When you first set up this plugin, it'll look very similar, except you'll see a red line up at the top. You'll see a red line somewhere in this neighborhood. It'll be a flat red line. So before you change anything, first thing you want to do is change the mode from EQ to subtract. I already have it set. And then beyond that, you don't need to change anything else yet. But Fft size, basically, if you make it really low, you sound like a robot. If you make it really high, I don't think it sounds right. I've changed it to 2048. It sounded good, but I'm going to leave it on the default setting of 4096. So, in other words, all you have to do is make sure you change mode from EQ to subtract. Now that you have that done, you're going to build your noise profile. All you have to do is click this checkbox, and then while the checkbox is on, you must be completely silent. Don't breathe into the microphone, don't make any noise, nothing. Just be silent for about 5 to 7 seconds. You could do it longer, but 5 to 10 seconds and then quietly uncheck the checkbox. I like to uncheck it by hitting my spacebar, but you can do it with your mouse. It's pretty inconsequential. But if you look at the waveform, you'll see the right side of the bar lights up whenever I click my mouse. So in other words, I consider that to be inconsequential, but it's good to know. So here we go. We're going to start now. I'll do a 5 to 7 second count. Okay, what that did was it filtered out noises from my computer. So now we're going to make some finer adjustments. First, we're going to change the edit mode from precise to smooth. That's in this pull down menu. And then we're just going to read the hint. It says shift moves segments, control moves all. So I'll give you an example. If I press and hold the control button and then I drag it by clicking and holding my left mouse button while moving it, I can drag and move this entire line up and down. The key is to press and hold your shift button before dragging it. And what I like to do is bring it down because I don't want to really clip too much of the treble. Most of the computer noise is coming from the bassy areas on the left side. So I basically lower it like this, and then maybe I lower it. Sound check. Now I'm moving individual pieces, but I can press the control key and I can move some of them in a group. So we're actually letting a bit of background noise in, but I wanted to do that on purpose because I want to minimize any impact on my voice that this has. But you should be able to hear a difference. So in conclusion, the plugin is all set up. When you close or open OBS, you can verify the plugin is still active by going to the gear icon, clicking filters, and making sure that 1, it's enabled, and 2, that the menu option still says refer_standalone, and finally that when you click open plugin interface that your settings are still as they were before. A quick recap. Observe the VU meter. Observe this graph over here from the plugin which we have presently enabled. I'm going to go ahead and use my thumb to represent when it's on and when I disable it. So I'm going to go ahead and disable it in a couple of seconds. In short, you'll be able to hear a difference, or if you're wearing headphones, and you'll be able to observe the difference in the VU meter. With the plugin enabled, we're looking at something about -40 to -35 dB. But when we enable the plugin, we're going closer to -35 to -40 dB. It's not a lot, but that's because I intentionally allowed some of these sound frequencies to pass through in order to keep the sound more natural. But you can choose to make it more aggressive, and in effect it will behave, or it will work as effectively as noise suppression, but hopefully you'll manage to tweak it to be more aggressive without altering the sounds that you do wish to, record. So with that, stay tuned, subscribe. In the future this will be part of a larger playlist. But if you have any requests or ideas, leave them in the comments. And thank you for watching.